abduction is every parent's worst nightmare. In the summer of 1981, a single moment of separation turned into an unimaginable tragedy for the Walsh family. What began as a seemingly routine trip to a Florida department store became one of the most heartbreaking and infamous child murder cases in American history. The disappearance of 6-year-old Adam Walsh changed the way the country viewed child safety, sparked nationwide panic, and ultimately led to the creation of new laws and systems to prevent similar tragedies. But for years, Adam's case remained shrouded in mystery, with a confession that raised as many questions as it answered. Welcome to AI True Crime. This is the story of Adam Walsh, a boy whose name became synonymous with the fight for justice. A nightmare begins. It was a blisteringly hot day on July 27, 1981, in Hollywood, Florida. Adam Walsh, a bright, playful, and curious 6-year-old, accompanied his mother, Reve Walsh, to the Sears department store at the Hollywood Mall. They were running errands, a simple mother and son outing that should have been uneventful. While Reve searched for a lamp in the store's lighting department, Adam became enthralled by a nearby display, an Atari 2600 gaming kiosk where a group of older boys was gathered, taking turns playing the console. Seeing Adam's excitement, Reve decided to let him stay and watch while she browsed just a few aisles away. She was only gone for a short while, minutes perhaps, but when she returned, Adam was nowhere to be found. At first, she assumed he had wandered off. Perhaps he had gone to look for her, or had gotten distracted by another section of the store. But as the moments ticked by, and Adam remained missing, panic began to set in. Reve frantically searched the store, calling his name, asking employees and shoppers if they had seen her little boy. Nobody had. A store page was broadcast over the intercom. Adam Walsh, please come to customer service. Adam Walsh, please come to customer service. But there was no response. A security guard eventually informed Reve that a group of rowdy boys had been asked to leave the store earlier. Witnesses would later claim Adam had been among them. If true, it meant that the 6-year-old had been escorted out, alone, onto the busy parking lot of the mall, separated from his mother and vulnerable to anyone who might be watching. The idea that Adam had been unintentionally pushed out into danger haunts the case to this day. Outside, there was no trace of him. The Walshes called the police, but in 1981, there was no Amber Alert system, no instant mobilization of law enforcement for missing children. Instead, there was an agonizing waiting period. The initial hours, the most crucial in child abduction cases, ticked by and Adam remained missing. The search for Adam had begun, but nobody could have imagined the horror that lay ahead. The search and a grisly discovery. For 2 agonizing weeks, the Walsh family, police, and volunteers searched frantically for Adam. His photo was plastered everywhere, and media coverage intensified. Then, on August 10th, the case took a devastating turn. 2 fishermen discovered a severed head in a drainage canal near Vero Beach, Florida, over 100 miles away from where Adam was last seen. Dental records confirmed the worst: the remains belonged to Adam Walsh. His body was never recovered. The brutality of the crime shocked the nation, and the question remained: who killed Adam Walsh? Otis Toole. A confession and controversy. Years later, serial killer Otis Toole, a drifter and arsonist with an IQ in the low 70s, confessed to abducting and murdering Adam. Toole was already serving time for unrelated crimes when he told law enforcement he had lured Adam into his car outside Sears, driven him to a remote location, and murdered him. But Toole was an unreliable source. He frequently recanted and changed details of his confessions, often embellishing or contradicting himself. Investigators, desperate for answers, struggled to separate fact from fiction. Despite this, some key evidence supported Toole's involvement. Toole's description of the crime matched details known only to law enforcement. A blood-stained carpet was found in Toole's car, but DNA testing at the time was inconclusive. Toole's link to serial killer Henry Lee Lucas, another manipulative confessor, cast doubts on whether he was telling the truth or simply seeking notoriety. Without solid forensic proof, Toole was never formally convicted for Adam's murder. John Walsh and the fight for justice. Adam's father, John Walsh, was devastated but refused to let his son's death be in vain. He turned his grief into action, launching a crusade against child predators. His relentless advocacy led to the creation of the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, NCMEC, in 1984. The passage of the Adam Walsh Child Protection and Safety Act in 2006 which established a nationwide sex offender registry. The launch of America's Most Wanted, a show that helped capture over 1,000 fugitives. John Walsh became one of the most prominent voices in crime prevention, ensuring Adam's legacy lived on. ________. The case officially closed. In 2008, after decades of uncertainty, the Hollywood Police Department officially closed Adam's case, naming Otis Toole as his killer. Though Toole had died in prison in 1996, the Walsh family finally had an official resolution. However, some still question whether Toole was truly responsible, or if the real killer walked free. ________. A crime that changed America. Adam Walsh's abduction and murder forever altered how America viewed child safety. His case led to national reforms, changing the way missing children cases were handled and bringing about the Code Adam alert system used in stores nationwide. But the questions and horrors of that day still linger. Was Toole truly the man who took Adam? Could better forensic evidence have brought certainty sooner? And, most hauntingly, what really happened to Adam Walsh in his final moments? One thing is undeniable. Adam's tragic story reshaped America's justice system and made the country more vigilant in protecting its children. Thank you for listening to AI True Crime. ChatGPT wrote the script, Midjourney did the cover image, and the intro music was by iTubo.